Today we're going to talk about personal development and how it has been the single most important thing in my horsemanship journey to improve my horsemanship and to improve my mindset, which is really everything when it comes to horse training and having good communication and a good working relationship with your horse. So I've had a really tough week, and yesterday it all kind of came to a head. I think it's important to talk a little bit about my mindset and my mental health if I'm going to help you guys do it. The coffee is not the coldest. Sweetest. It's very strong and not sweet. So this week I've just had a few different things happen, and it's just been a rough summer, honestly, with some incidents happening, needing to put fencing up, doing that fencing in the heat, starting lessons again, giving lessons on my horse. And I've also been working really hard on a ton of internet stuff and trying to keep up on these podcasts, YouTube videos, short form videos, which are a hobby of mine and I enjoy, but it's all been too much and the heat is getting to me. And the problem with me is with my chronic illness and my chronic pain, when I am in too much pain for too long or in too much stress for too long, and the heat is a really big stressor for me. It does release histamine into your body, and I don't tolerate that well, and so I can start having allergic reactions to all kinds of things in a downward spiral because of that. And that in turn makes my swelling worse, my inflammation worse in my joints, all kinds of things. And I just have some health conditions that make the heat really challenging for me. And I was just trying to work through it, and I was just trying to work through the business stuff I'm trying to get going. And I tend to just be an overachiever and a real go-getter, and I have the ADHDs, and I get fixated on tasks. I have time blindness, and so I will spend way too long editing videos, working on something, look up and be like, oh crap, I have to go to work or whatever it is. And I find that fatiguing if I can't manage my time well with that, because I overdo it. And what else? I've just been having a tough time to the point where my pain level was high for a week, and I was just irritable with everybody and everything. I didn't want to do anything, and I didn't even want to do anything in my free time. I didn't want to watch TV, didn't want to read a book, I didn't want to work on my internet stuff. My brain was just totally fried. And I had plans this weekend to build more fencing or finish something which would make my horse's lives a lot better, because Davina's essentially in a stall most of the time until I can get this fencing finished. And so that's really stressful for her. It's really stressful for me. I'm taking her out and giving her exercise, but it's not ideal. She's not going to have the appropriate turnout until I finish a fence. And then I also had a really tough situation, and you will see this next week, and then I hopefully will update you on all what I do to solve the situation. But I am having real trouble with Davina and Disco. They lived together for years. Disco's my gelding and Davina's my mare. Davina's my lesson horse, and so she's going to be giving lessons to people. And I've done a few lessons with my working student, and they did not go well, and you will see what happened. She did do a week of stall rest. There's a whole other fiasco that I haven't really brought up yet, but basically Davina broke the fences. She got in between my fence and a neighbor's fence, knocked their fence down to hurt herself, cut her legs, scraped up her back legs, and they were a bit swollen and her hocks were sore. And then she also scraped her eye and had a pretty swollen black eye essentially, and I felt really bad that her her eye was okay, but around her eye was very swollen and ouchy. And so she also had to do some stall rest, and she came out very spicy, and I just find that very stressful because I need to work through it as a trainer, but it's with my personal heart horse, and at the same time I'm about to start giving lessons on her, and so I need her to be safe and sane. And I've just put in all this work to start advertising and taking in students again, and that may all be for naught until I sort this out. And so it's just very stressful for all of us, and that has not been helping with my mental and physical health. And I just find that everything kind of adds up to being a problem for me. And so the less stress I can have in my life, the better weather, the most rest I can have, and having things sorted out with my horses or anything stressful in my life really, really, really helps keep me sane and keep my pain level appropriate. And a really tough thing for me to accept is to take a day off. And that is one of the biggest things that helps me. I feel so much better today. I wanted to make content. I had some slip ups where there's just been a lot of challenges coming into YouTube and making content on this scale. I didn't realize that I would fill up my phone memory. I didn't realize how many times you have to download videos, especially if you're not going to get a computer and just do it all on your phone. I didn't realize that it would probably be bad for my arm and shoulder to be editing on my phone all the time. I didn't realize how long it takes to upload content to each platform throughout the day if you want to be uploading often. There's so many things that take time that I didn't realize, and that kind of take away from me being able, sorry, there's an ant on me, take away from me being able make the content in a timely manner or use my phone when I need to. I have to put my phone down all night and let things download, and I have to download them to my phone, edit them, download them from the app I'm using, and then download them again to all the places I want to post them, and then download them into Dropbox and delete them off my phone. And my phone was completely full, even though I have 200 gigabytes, and so I had to go and delete everything. And so that slipped me up because my phone was not functioning when it was full, and I had to figure that out. And it's just been a really long process. I'm really proud of myself for figuring all these things out, but sometimes I need to remember that I just need to take it one day at a time, one task at a time. I can get very wrapped up in to-do lists and overdoing it and spending hours and hours and hours doing something when it's so funny. I can't stand doing 15 minutes of something because I have this time blindness. I've tried setting timers and things, and we'll keep working on that, I guess. But the biggest thing that I've been dealing with in accepting myself, the biggest thing that's helped my horsemanship overall has just been taking care of myself. And that doesn't look like I thought it would from watching all these personal development videos, mind vet videos that are out there about what to do for your ADHD and your burnout and your all kinds of things. If you have chronic illness or mental health issue or a really, really stressful, hard working life like a lot of us horse scouts do, it could be really easy to get stuck in the wrong kind of discipline. It can be really easy to not be kind to yourself. And looking kind to myself has been very different than I thought it would be. Accepting that yesterday I was having a really hard time. Like I said, my mind was gone. It's still not all there. But I also looked terrible. I felt terrible. I was crying. I was very emotional. And I just felt like I was so done with everything. And everything was looking very negative. And that is not a good time to be just keep working on what I need to work on, because I'm not doing it appropriately. I'm not setting boundaries for the amount of time that I do things. So when I'm burnt out, it is not working for me. What I mean by burnt out is that even my mind doesn't want to do anything. It is just completely done with stimulation and can't function. And that's when I'm like, I'm in real trouble here. And I used to always take breaks. I've done that, and mostly I slept. Then I slept again, and I just feel so much better. And I just had a thorough, really good bath and fed myself well yesterday, and I just feel so much better. And I just couldn't do the office work, and I couldn't do the horses yesterday. And that's all fine and well, and I've done that many times, but I beat myself up every day, all day, about not going out to the horses today to do much other than barn chores. But like, I still do stuff with them every day. I see them every day. I talk to them every day, and it's fine. And beating myself up about that's not going to help. Let's talk about what does help. And since this is focused on our horsemanship, I'll just talk about a little bit about how that's improved and how, and also what that self-improvement, why it's so important, and what you can do to try to get out of some burnout. The biggest first thing is going to be take a day off. Take an entire day off. I don't care if you have a huge barn, like figure out having someone do chores at least half the day. It can be a moment in your day, but it has to be something your mind and body just are okay with, completely happy to do. And if that means no stimulation, it's no stimulation. If it means playing the TV and the radio at the same time and you want to go hard and work on office stuff, freaking do it. But if then you want to take a nap that day, take a nap. And then if you want to go out and get some junk food, freaking do it. Okay? Because that one day is not going to throw off everything in your life. The world's not going to end. If you have a giant barn, it actually could. So I get if you can't find somebody. I know it's tough to find someone you trust taking care of your horses, even if you just have a few. I get that. But even if you can just ask a family member or your partner to feed the horses for one feeding so that you can have half a day to yourself to do whatever it is that you need to do to reset and just feel like you've fed your mind, body, and soul. You know, that your spirit feels refreshed and you're ready to go into things. And it's okay if it takes time for you to feel that way again, but you still have to give yourself that space to try to relieve it. So if it's all you have is half a day, then give that to yourself. If you still feel burnt out after that, that's totally understandable. The next thing we can start looking at is changing systems in our life. But what I want you to keep in mind is to be gentle with yourself, and that these things are going to take plenty of time, and there can't really be like a due date on all of this, because organizing things like my stable situation to make my life less stressful is going to take me about a year, I think, so far as how it's been going, and who knows. So I'm just going to have to roll with that. But I do know when my brain starts to obsess about fixing every little thing in my life and is confused by all the different things, I can drop that thing, because I'm like, I have a plan for this. This is where it's at. And then the next thing is, yes, making a plan to have systems in your life that replace the things that are harming you or causing you stress with things that do not. And you can't just drop them or you'll just have nothing to do. And then keep in mind that this can take a very long time, especially if it has to do with money or time, you know, like having the time to get something done. If you work a full-time job, you may only have a few hours a week to work on a YouTube video, and that's okay, because you also need 8 hours that week, or 4 or 5. Like, I need half a day or a whole day off a week just to care for myself with nobody else's stuff that I need to take care of. I need that. And so that's been a really big one. And then the last one is just not beating yourself up for these they're not even hiccups. We're so hard on ourselves. We need to give ourselves days off. And if you're still feeling burnout, then we probably need a system in place where you have a day off. You maybe need a whole day off to yourself to just do nothing. Like, no working out, no crazy stuff. If you're chronically ill or in pain, you may need a whole day to like lay down and rest. If not, of course not. Do what you feel, but just have a day that's just for you to play, for your spirit to be happy, to do whatever it is to your heart's content. And another great tip is to prepare for that day, because if we have systems in place, then we can prepare for that day, and we can like gather all the food and make it beforehand. If we're burnt out, maybe not. Then we have to switch to find easy things like paper plates and, food that's packaged so you don't have to cook or something like that. But prepare everything for yourself ahead of time. Don't go overboard. Just like make sure that you've got food in the fridge that you want to eat and the things that you might want that day to enjoy yourself. And then just do it. And that has been one of the biggest ones. The last one is just to be kind to yourself and work with yourself day by day as you slowly set up these systems and put them in place, and just do one thing at a time. I want to be clear that these are systems I'm talking about that are in your control. And the biggest thing that all of this has helped me with in my horsemanship is just to start trusting myself and to be a present and knowledgeable partner for my horse. When my mind isn't going everywhere because everything is settled, and I do things for my physical and mental health that help my body trust that I'm going to take care of it. I'm not going to push too far. This can alleviate a lot of fears and issues we have if we have an accident or we're having miscommunication with our horse. It's just to be there, be present, have our nervous system calm, and this helps our horse be calm. And another huge thing that this personal development has helped me with is controlling my energy and doing more with my energy than these physical items or tools. Whether that be clicker training or negative reinforcement training, I have a full understanding of all of them, and then I also have a better control of my energy with the horses, and this does put me in a positive mindset. And the same way that I've set up systems in my life to relieve stress, I set up training situations in the same way for myself and the horses. And having systems in place and plans really helps us stay focused and not be thinking about a million different things when we're supposed to be working on our horses. And lastly, when we trust ourselves, it's just the same as training with our horse. When we do activities with them that help them trust that they know what's happening and what's going to happen, and that they can work with us and nothing bad happens, they gain more and more trust in us. And it's the same thing when we set up systems or are gentle with ourselves and respect our limits. We start to trust our decisions and we start to trust in ourselves a lot more. This can transfer to our training and our mindset in the sessions, and that can in turn create good work that helps our horse trust us. It's awesome. It's a win-win-win.
If you'd like some help setting up systems or training plan for your horse, contact me at emmajenkinsondressage@gmail.com with the subject line behavior plan. What you can do is send in 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes of video. I will voice over it with training instructions. I will also send you a typed behavior plan with activities and specific instructions. And on top of that, I'll send you any relevant videos on tutorials that I have. Happy training. We'll see you soon.